Hello, everyone. This is Gui Sasaki here from the Logica. Very welcome to this video. Today, we do have a very special guest. Here I have with me international partner at the Logica, Sen, aka ForexDoc. Sen,
Hello,
very
hello.
welcome to our interview. How's it
Thank you very
going?
much. Hello from Europe. I'm great, and thank you very much for this opportunity. It is my pleasure.
All right, let's go to our conversation then. So, for those who don't know, Sen is a great influencer in the trading in forex market, and now we are going to be talking about some strategies that he used, a lot of the things that he wants to share with us, and it's going to be a very interesting and a very nice here conversation with him. So, Sen, to start off our conversation and this discussion about trading, especially in forex and all the international markets, actually, how did you actually start trading, and which reason was the point that became you became a trader? Like, which was the reason that you actually start in this market?
Yeah, so well, it started from a pure desire for knowledge when it comes to a forex market, but the beginning is actually pretty usual. It's nothing special because I'm a mechanical engineer. So in my university, after a few years, it became pretty much boring. So it all my life is basically around based around that. So I really wanted to start with
By the
something.
way, sorry to interrupt. I understand you because I'm also engineer. I'm a civil
Oh,
engineer, and I
yeah,
didn't like this at all as well. So I just graduated and never work with that.
yeah. Well, I graduated too, but as like you, I also didn't work many years. So basically, after that, I just started with trading. Well, actually, I started to learn about trading while I was at my university, and it was a really great experience for me because I had something else to focus on, not just university, what. So I finished it, but I really needed something else, and that else was eventually forex trading. So at the beginning, I didn't know much about it, but because when I was a kid, I really always was fascinated by these markets and these candlesticks moves up and down, these green and red colors. But I never really started to learn more about it until that time when I was in my university. So I said to me, well, that was always interesting to me. So let's start more to learn more about it, and that's how it started. So basically, step by step, I didn't know anything, but I started with charts. You know what candlesticks mean, how they work, and basically it was a step by step learning. And at one point, I just decided to try with on a demo account, and I think that is very important because many traders or beginners, they start immediately to trade on a live account. And to me, it doesn't really make much sense because you want that's great, but you need to know the basics. You need to know how to open a trade, how to close the trade. So you need a little bit to gain experience, and I think that demo accounts are great to do that. So that's how I started, and eventually I wanted to connect with the people who trade, and that's how I opened my Instagram account, and that's how it all started basically. Because as forex is pretty much lonely, you just sit around in front of your screens and computers. So that was another step for me to connect with people, and so far it was a great decision.
That's very nice. So, a question here from someone who is from Brazil, and I don't know who things are in Europe, but in any point when you started, like as a beginner in trading, did you see any advertising or like any mentor that said you would be rich or a millionaire by 1 2 months is going to be easy or something like that? Did you actually fall in this promise? And you had like, oh, it's not like this, maybe I have to try a little bit harder? How was like the beginning? Did you started with demo account, which is the correct way, using the simulator account, but once you actually started in the real account, did you have like a surprise, like it's not as easy as I thought that this could be?
Yeah, well, actually, no, actually, I didn't have any surprises. It was just pretty much the same. Well, the pressure was, I can say, higher. So you make some mistakes because of, I can say, emotional trading. So that's a bit tough to get around it. But eventually, it became very. It's very similar, like trading on a demo account, because I mean the essence is the same, right? So it's just your psychology is different, and that actually it can be a problem for some traders. Uh, I guess it was for me at the beginning, but after a few months, I can say that it wasn't a problem anymore.
Oh, that's great.
And
And
excuse me, when it comes to these advertisements, no, I didn't see any advertisements. I just wanted to start trading. So, but people, I can say that people should be careful because I don't really like these get rich quick programs. You can get rich, but it takes time and it takes effort and practice. So you cannot trading is easy to start, but that doesn't mean that it's easy to win. To be profitable. And some people get confused by that. They think, okay, it's easy to start. I just need a phone, I need an account, and that's it. But actually, it's much more than that. So it's okay to be motivated by money, I guess, and profit, but not too much. Be careful at the beginning.
okay, that's great advice. And talking about the day trading or even trading as by itself, uh, because you have your journey so so correct, and then you started in the simulator account, demo account, and then go to real account without you didn't want to be millionaire by 1 month or something like that. Which strategies did you learn along your journey and you still use right now? And if you want to share, of course, strategy that you tried and you didn't like it, so your trading today in strategy is more like a day trading, is more like scalping. Which kind of strategy do you use right now to do your trades?
Yeah, at this moment, it's day trading basically. I try to close my trades within a day. Sometimes I let it run overnight, but I usually close it. So it's day trading. And it was just a natural thing for me because I tried swing trading to keep my trades for maybe 3, 4, 5 days, some maybe even weeks, but it just doesn't work for me. I get too nervous, and I just cannot look these charts go down in a profit and then just up. So it's much easier for me uh, to close it within a day, which is actually ironical because when you have more time, you actually can relax more. But for me, it just day trading is just better. It just feels better for me, and the take profit amount that I use, like for example, 40 pips, 30 pips, it's good for a day trading. And I risk around 15 to 20. So I can say that my risk reward is 1 to 2. That's what I'm focused on. And it just works nicely on in a day trading strategy. Also, the time frames that I use 2 hour time frame to analyze some major zones for like support, resistance, key levels, significant zones, and then I usually go down on a 15-minute time frame to look for entries. So it just works nice for me to be a day trader, I guess. And
All
I
right.
tried scalping, to close and open the positions in a minutes, but I can't do that. It's completely different approach. So I'm not definitely not a scalper, and that's why I decided to go with a day trading.
All right, that's great. And because you're already talking about trading and that kind of stuff, you already said scalping, already said some of your strategies. I would like to ask you, please, ForexDoc, Sam, can you share your knowledge with us a little bit? And let's explain in the chart, for example, which indicators do you use and how you do your trading, how you do your analysis in forex. So if you could do that, please, it was going to be
Yeah,
very nice. Let's just set up
sure, we
here.
can do that. So basically, what I like to do, like I said, on a 2-hour time frame or even 1-hour time frame, it's to analyze some major zones. And these zones, like I said, are support, resistance, and the significant zone. So many traders ask me, what is a significant zone? Significant zone is a zone that acted as a support and resistance in the past. So let's say, for example, well, this is actually good example. So price here, we can see that acted as a support, and then support here, then price broke it, went down, and then went up to retest this zone. And here we can see that this zone acted as a resistance, here and again here. So now we have this zone that acted both as a support and resistance, and that's why I consider this zone as a significant zone. So sometimes usually price reacts to this zone. So let's say, for example, if this price goes up, this zone can act as a resistance again, and that's why I keep it on the charts. Also, we can see this zone here that also acted as a resistance here and then as a support here. So this zone can also act as a resistance, or maybe price will break it and it will retest it, so it can act as a support. We will see that when price goes up, but for now I just keep them on my charts to mark a significant zone, or at least what I believe it's a significant zone. Of course, many times this will not be a case. Price will just broke it and continue to go up, or maybe react to it. I will enter, and then it will actually be what we call a fake out. So price will just go up, and then sometimes you lose. But yeah, that's inevitable. It will happen definitely.
All right. So, for example, this chart that we're seeing right now is the asset is gold. All right. And
yes, it's gold.
And it's 2-hour time frame, right?
This is gold 2-hour time frame. That's right.
And you analyze the market in this time frame. You can see the major areas of interest that you just explained to us. And when you actually going to enter a trade, you go into a smaller time frame, just like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or you keep using this one? How do you?
Yes, yeah. I actually go down on a 15 minutes time frame, so I will show that now. Okay, just a second. We can see this support zone here. This is also 2-hour time frame. We can see that this zone acted as a support here, and then here. We can actually see this minor bullish reaction, but then this massive bearish candlestick closed below it. So, for example, at this moment, I don't trade gold. I will explain that later. I trade the currency pairs. But for example, in this case, I would go down on a 15 minutes time frame and then look probably to enter after some kind of a pullback, because price, as we said, as we saw here, price broke this 2-hour support zone. So on a 15 minutes time frame, I can here wait for a pullback. Just a second, like this. I can wait for a pullback, and maybe stochastic RSI sell signal, this zone above 80, and then to wait for maybe bearish engulfing candlestick, maybe some weak rejections, some bearish pressure, and then to enter here if price goes up to retest this zone. So that's my logic behind analyzing charts. So I usually try to enter on a 15 minutes time frame.
That's perfect. And I was very curious because I was going to ask, of course, because we do have the stochastic in your chart. So besides using these areas as support, resistance levels, and also the stochastic as your your entry point, do you actually use more indicators such as moving average, volume indicator, or just this is your setup for trading?
Well, at the beginning, I used a lot of indicators just to get an idea how they work. I used RSI, I used Bollinger Bands, but the stochastic RSI works the best for me. And at this moment, I'm using stochastic RSI, and I use volume profile sometimes to help me identify some zones. It can actually be a very useful indicator. But mainly I use stochastic RSI. it can give very good entry points when price forms a pullback. It can give this confirmation that yes, it's like saying to you, yes, you should look to sell or you should look to buy. But there is one important thing that traders should know. They should never rely on an indicator too much. So first thing that you want to focus on, it's a price. It's a price action, highs, lows. It's a price structure. And then you can look to find some help with indicators. So that's I would say it's an important thing to know that. So focus on a price first, and then you can look for indicators to help you. Because if you blindly follow signals that indicators provide, it will be hard to be consistent. For example, stochastic RSI has one problem. Well, it has many problems, but the obvious one is that it can stay in this low zone, what we call this zone oversold and overbought. I don't really like those terms, but it doesn't really matter. So it can stay in these zones for a very long time. So it can provide you a fake signal to buy or to sell. And that's why you need to focus on a price first and then use the help of an indicator.
That's very nice. So the next question that I wanted to ask you, Sen, is you told me about right now about people who use many indicators such as moving average, high-low indicator, volume profile, and that kind of stuff. And what do you see that is the most common mistakes that beginners in trading actually do, and how to avoid them? For example, you said right now about people who use a lot of indicators, but in your experience, including yourself, which kind of mistakes people are committing in their first days or first weeks of trading?
Yeah, well, like I said, it's they rely too much on us on the indicators. So, for example, RSI is a very popular indicator, and for the beginners, I used it too. It's a good indicator to learn how they work in general. Uh, um, but the problem is, like I said, just they see this sell signal, for example, and just sell. So it doesn't matter what is happening on a chart. Maybe some news are about to be released. Maybe price is very let's say it's moving fast. They don't analyze higher time frame, higher zones, and they just see indicator and they assume, okay, it will work. Well, unfortunately, it will not work, especially not every time, because at the end of the day, nothing works 100% in a forex market. Even if you take, let's say, perfect trade, nothing will guarantee you that trade will hit your take profit. Maybe some news will push the price. For example, you sold and price will just go up immediately. A reaction to the news that is happening every day, basically. So nothing works perfectly, especially indicators. Like I said, I think they are good to start with, and you can learn with them, but then determine a few indicators that you like, that are useful to you, and focus on them. Don't just try many indicators. I mean, at the beginning, it's okay on a demo account, but after that, just be very careful and focus on one or two indicators. Also, for example, moving average, people or new traders, they saw a video somewhere and price, for example, broke this. For example, price breaks this zone, this moving average, and they just want to buy or sell. Well, I mean, it will not work consistently. That's for sure.
All right. And you just shared with us your analysis in gold as an asset, for example. But can you actually show us maybe some forex analysis that you have been through the last days? And also, what I am asking that because the next question is, how is it like your risk reward ratio that you use in your trades? If you could explain using maybe an asset that you like to explain to us, that would be very helpful for all of those who are watching as well.
Yeah, sure. So, like for example, I have this Aussie dollar Swiss franc trade that is active right now. So I can show my analogy behind this behind this trade. Actually, we can see on a 2-hour time frame, we can see this support zone. It's clearly a support zone because price failed to break it multiple times, like here, 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 and but it broke it here and then retested it. So now it became a significant zone, right? Because now it's acting as a resistance. And we can see here a series of lower highs. So price formed this high, which is actually, we can consider this as a resistance zone. And then we can see these lower highs and lower low structure. I will mark it like this so people can see better. So we can clearly see that price is forming these lower highs, this and these lower lows. This means that we have a basically downtrend. And what happened here? Here we can see that price went up to retest this zone. And then I scale down on a 15 minutes time frame. And we can see that also this stochastic RSI is giving us a sell signal. So now it's okay to use help of an indicator because we can see this massive bullish move that basically retested this 2-hour significant zone. And also we have this bearish trend line. So we can say that we have a confluence here between this trend line and this zone. So I scaled down on a 15 minutes time frame, and then I saw this bearish reaction and also stochastic RSI sell indication. So I decided to sell, and we can see that this is my entry level here. I marked it. We can see that it's minor profit, but we will see what will happen. I put my stop loss above this significant zone, and I went down for a 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio. So I'm risking 20 pips in order to gain 40 pips. Very, very good aim is you can aim for your take profit. You can put it here, where we have this previous low. So you can aim for this previous low. That's perfect. But in this case, because we have a downtrend, I can expect to see price. I can expect to see that price will break this low and continue to go down because we have a downtrend. So I have a little bit more freedom to put my take profit below this low. And also I have this good risk-reward ratio 1-to-2, which is what I usually aim for. So that was the logic behind this trade that is currently on. It is live. And also on a 1-hour time frame, we can see the price retested this zone with these bearish wick rejections. And also here, we can also see a stochastic RSI sell signal. So all combined, it was a solid opportunity for me to enter, but mainly because we have this lower highs, lower low structure. That's the main point, and also retest of this zone and confluence zone between this significant zone and bearish trend line. So that's the analogy behind this trade.
That's very so. I can see here a kind of 3-step. I don't know if it's like this in your analysis, but kind of 3-step trading strategy. So first, you identify which is the trend. So whether it's bearish or bullish. I think it's the number one thing. So
Yes, on a 2-hour
lower
time.
lows, lower highs in the 2-hour time frame. That's the first
Right.
thing I think. Second, you see whether the price is in a significant zone, whether it is a support or resistance. So that is very important. It doesn't have to be much of a very important zone, but it has to be a significant zone. And
Yeah,
I think
yes.
as your third point is something like, is any indicator contributing to this analysis, and can I entry here? Is something like that?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly right. And also, it doesn't have to be a significant zone. It can also be a support or resistance zone. So, but it's a major zone anyway. So yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, that's perfect. And I'm just curious because, of course, we do have a lot of assets in the international market in Forex, but uh, the asset has to be in a very specific setup so that you can entry, right? So
Yes, that's right.
usually how many assets do you have to search, do you have to analyze in order to find one trade?
Well, actually, I have, I think, 7 or 8 currency pairs that I analyze, and usually, because I'm a, like I said, day trader, I am able to find at least one, maybe usually two, and sometimes three trades per day, and that's the maximum. I don't enter fourth trade. I keep it at the maximum is a 3 trades. I active in the same time, but usually I am able to find 1 or 2 opportunities within a day. Um, so I take them and I just wait and I'm looking what is happening. That's basically it. Also, what I do is I sometimes I make a early close. So if price, for example, if price continues to go, if price goes up, it breaks this zone, this trend line. Well, in the with a, for example, massive and strong bullish candlestick, it's okay to close it because we can obviously see that this zone is violated here, and it's okay to close it. Also, if price goes down, for example, and we see some resistance, some support here, because we have this previous major low, and if price forms a bullish pressure here, then it's okay to close because you need to react to the market. Some traders just leave the trades, which is okay. If that's your strategy, that's okay. You can leave the trades and see what happens. But for me, I usually close it sometimes even before they reach stop loss or take profit.
Okay, so you're not like I put my entry point, stop loss, take profit, and then just go away, like which some people do. I think it's very risky, but some people do that. You actually keep watching how the next candles develop into the chart, and then if something very unusual happens, you actually can close your trade before it hits your take profit or your stop loss. Is that
Uh,
correct?
yes, that is correct. But I mean, I have this luxury to stay in front of screens all day because this is what I do. But for some traders, it can be a problem. Uh, for example, because of they're working. So if you don't really have time to watch the charts, then it's okay. Maybe it's better to be a swing trader and to just let the trades to run. Just enter and let it run. But for me personally, it's much better like this because I'm able to be in front of my computer and my phone all the time, basically all day.
That's nice. And you said that you usually analyze 7 to 8 assets before you enter your trades. Can you share with us which assets do you like to trade the most? Like you can share your top three, top five. I don't know if you have your favorites, by the way, or
Yeah.
you just randomly changing them. Do you have your like always trade a specific kind of asset, or you change it depending on volatility, volume, or something like that?
Yes, I change it, but it's currency pairs. So that's it. I don't. I analyze others, for example, gold or Bitcoin or indices, but I don't trade them. I trade only currency pairs, and sometimes it's necessary to change between different pairs because one pair can be a very, I can say, let's say slow. So, for example, like this, it's very here. It's very actually hard to enter, but when the volatility is higher and we have some we have strong trend. Then I change to that specific currency. It can be any currency actually. It doesn't matter to me because you need to adapt, when the market is consolidating or when it's trending. So depending on that, I change my pairs. But as I said, I'm focused on just currency pairs.
Okay, and you are talking about because you have your routine just like a trader, and so you can stand all day watching the charts and see whether it is going, to form a bearish candle or something like that. So you can afford to watch at each candle to form in the chart. And a lot of people are always curious to see a trader like you, Sam, and ask, what your routine like as a trader? uh, I can see in your platform in Black Arrow that you do have the news listed, so you can see which time we are gonna have some news, some indicators released. But which year? How is your routine like as a day trader?
Well, it's actually very simple. I just stay in front of the screens all day. So I get up and I try to trade London session and New York session. So it's not really beginning of the London session, more like a middle and end of the London session. Then New York and London overlap. That is the most active time, and then New York session. So these are three, or I can say two sessions that I trade. I analyze the charts usually before I go to bed. So to have these zones prepared for tomorrow, and then when I get up, when I start trading again, I check these zones. I make some adjustments. I share some analysis in my Telegram group. I share posts on my Instagram account, and while I'm watching my charts, of course. So basically, I prepare everything for the tomorrow. And at the end of the day, I usually share another examples in my Telegram group, another set of charts, and to prepare for the tomorrow. And basically, I mean, that's it. I just so it's waking up, maybe some adjustments with these zones, making a plan. So okay, for example, I draw new zones, and I say, okay, I wait for the price to reach this zone. I will wait for a bearish pressure. If that happens, I will enter. If it doesn't happen, I will not enter. And then I just watch my pairs. I will just watch my charts. After that, I share another analysis in my Telegram group to prepare for the tomorrow, and that's basically it. That's it. I'm sitting in front of the screen basically all day. So yeah, that's my routine.
That's very nice. And usually, how many hours do you focus on actually trading? Because you do have your Telegram group, you do have your analysis on Instagram as well. But trading by itself, you would say how many hours? Like 7 to 8 hours, just focus on trading, or less than that, more than that?
Okay, just focused on trading. So I can say it's about 8 hours, I would say.
That's a long
But
time.
yeah, but I mean, I like I said, I watch these charts all day, but we can say that specifically just watching and sitting and waiting for the opportunity, we can say it's 8 hours, I guess.
Okay. And do you actually see the news that we are gonna have in the day? For example, when you have the CPI, when you have the payroll, do you? I know a lot of people like to trade during those times because the market goes crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
But are you the kind of trader who actually likes this event so that you can trade more, or you actually don't trade in these kinds of events?
No, I don't like that. I'm not a fundamental. I don't really do a fundamental analysis. I'm more focused on a technical analysis, and I just want to avoid it. For example, yesterday I made a mistake. I opened the US dollar JPY trade. For some reason, I expect price to drop, but news really pushed it up. It was very bullish day, and I just asked myself why I did this. Because I don't usually do that, and I just try to avoid the news and wait for the opportunity after or before. Sometimes when I open my trade before the news, I will move if my trade is in profit, I will move stop loss to break even, so I can protect my trade. If price, for example, I have a sell trade, price is in profit, trade is in profit, so and the news are about to be released, then I just move stop loss to break even, and what happens. That's it. I will at least not lose. So that's another thing that I like to do.
Yeah, I had some crazy days during events, just like payroll and
Oh,
CPI,
yeah,
and
yeah.
now I learned. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way that just like you do now, before an event, it's very nice that I have my price my stop loss in the break even. So at the most, I don't lose anything. And
Yeah,
if it goes, for example, I'm buying. If it goes up, okay, that's nice. But like you said, you never know how the event is going to impact the chart, right? It can go
that's
crazily above in a bullish trend, and then goes down all the way in a
yeah,
second. You know,
yeah.
it's so unexpected reasons why.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Maybe I can even find some examples here on a chart. But see this one here. So, for example, we can see that this is a time.
Yeah,
Probably some news were announced here. Probably because I see the time here, and just look at this. I mean, we have this massive bearish candlestick, but then this weak rejection occurred, and then massive bullish move. And then what do you want to do in this example? For you want to buy? Do you want to follow this candlestick? I mean, I'm not really sure, because see what happened next. Price went down. So you usually want to avoid this. As I mean, if you are a fundamental trader and you are specifically trading the news, that's okay. It's perfect for you. But to me, it's not good, and I just like to avoid it. And it's a very dangerous thing, because especially for the beginners, they see this massive bullish or bearish candlestick, and they just want to go along with it. So, for example, we have this bullish candlestick here. It's a very strong, and some beginners, they see this and they just want to buy, because they feel like they will miss this opportunity. And then we can see that price just went down. So don't chase the price. I would say that can be a good advice for a new trader. Don't just chase what you see. Make a plan and see what happens and react accordingly. So that's a much better approach. I think you can be more consistent like that than just chasing the price. You see some bullish move, you buy. You see a bearish move, you sell. It's not really a good way to trade.
okay. And talking about this, what people should not do in their beginning in trading, for like you said, don't try to chase the price. It's going
Yeah.
up. I'm not gonna buy right now, and then the price goes down all the way in a few seconds. Do you think for beginners, of course, after the demo account stage, do you think that they should have a daily goal, financially speaking, or do you just trade regardless of the, what do you think is the perfect setup for who wants to take trade seriously and do not do any mistakes? So you think it should be a daily goal, or how do you see this thing?
No, I don't think that you should chase daily goals. Maybe you can chase, I guess, monthly goals, but your goal should be to enter the best trade possible based on your plan. So that should be your goal, because even that, it maybe sounds simple and stupid, but it's not. It's actually very hard to control yourself and to wait for a perfect opportunity and to be patient. Many traders really don't do that. Sometimes even I make that mistake. I'm not patient enough, and I end up losing. But the best move is just to analyze, to focus on the price, to make a plan, and to enter accordingly. Whatever is in your mind, just follow that, uh, based on your plan, of course. So that's what your goal should be, in my opinion. My goal was never to make this amount of money today, or this percentage. It's just to enter the best trade that I possibly can. That's the goal. Of course, respecting the risk management and some rules that you have. For me personally, I risk around 2 or 3% per trade, sometimes even 1%, but that's the range. I don't go, for example, 5 or 10% risk per trade. And I see traders making mistakes when it comes to that. Sometimes they don't even know what they're doing in terms of how much are they risking. So you need to, in my opinion, you need to use at the beginning, at least, to use a stop loss and to make this calculation based on your account balance. So you can risk, for example, 2%. you choose your lot size accordingly, and then you just wait to see what happens. So focus on your plan and have a good risk management. That's I think the best thing to do, to be your goal, not the money.
Perfect. And Sen, how long do you think a beginner should stay in the demo account? For how long do you think the person
Yeah.
should be able to study so much before they put any money in their trading?
I would say a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, but don't go over. For example, don't go over 6 months, because you can get in this routine where you'll start doing something without any repercussions. So when it's important to learn, on a demo account, but don't use it too long. So I would say maybe even 6 months is too much, but I would say let that be a maximum, and use it for 2 or 3, 4 months. I think that's a good time, so you can start with a real account.
Okay. And do you have a device for example, someone who is not a beginner anymore, who did some trading in forex in any asset, did that part with the demo account, went to the real account, had some good gains in the real account, but there's a point when the traders, they go a little bit lost. They start looking at not different strategies. There's a point where, oh, nothing works anymore. Do you have any advice for traders when they are at that point when emotionally they are kind of unstable, and how to get back to the track, and start seriously trading again? Do you have any specific advice for
Yeah.
this kind of trader?
Well, I was in that position many times, okay, in the beginning especially, but just take your time. Take your time, maybe 1 or 2 days off, and try to relax, and don't just fear that you are missing out something. You're not, because opportunities will come every single day, basically. Forex never stops, and price will always move, so you will always have a room to enter and to trade. So take your time, reflect on your some previous trades, and even if you decide to adjust your strategy, you can do it, but don't just reinvent it. Don't just start with something very new. I mean, that's, I guess, okay if it's not working at all, but usually you want to build up on the knowledge that you already have. So when you have these hard days, just take a step, take a day off, 2 days off, and when you come back to analyze charts again and to change maybe your approach or your strategy, just try to make another step to it. Don't scratch everything and start again. Well, you can just say, okay, this didn't work, I can change this. Okay, this worked, I can focus on that more. So that should be your approach when that happens. At least in my opinion, that's how I managed to get out of these situations.
Okay. And for those who like this content and like your trading setup, your trading style, before you talk about your social media accounts and that kind of stuff, do you have any book or any kind of course that you recommend to people who are starting trading? We know there's a lot of books out there about trading strategies or even risk management, which is the more important. And by the way, I didn't ask you, but I want to hear from you. Because there are a lot of people who say, "Oh, it's 30% risk management, it's 30% emotional." But I don't know what do you think about this. But do you have any recommendation of books or material what they can study in their beginning?
Yeah. Well, you can just, as a beginner, maybe it sounds stupid, but just start. Just start and learn. That's basically because you can literally type forex books for forex beginners. Any book that you read, that's the good start, and you will find a great knowledge there. So it doesn't really matter the order. You just start with it. So that is a perfectly good way to start. Just find some beginners books and try to read them. Also, you can just watch videos. There are some very good content on a YouTube or other platforms, but I would just suggest you to to avoid these creators that promote like high returns and get rich quick. I mean, just try to find the ones that are focusing on education to actually tell you something that you can learn from, and that's perfectly fine way to start. So it doesn't really matter the order that you start the book, first book or the second book. Just start. That's the best way, you know.
And do you have like at your trading style, at your strategies, a studies specifically for management of risk or emotional stuff or strategy? Do you think they all come together, or do you spare specific time to study a little bit more of each of these?
Well, like I said, you can start with anything, but you first want to focus on technical knowledge, you know, like this, support zones, charts, and then you can just add the psychology part to that. But that will eventually be a step-by-step process. When it comes to learning about the charts and the things that are happening there and candlesticks, just start with any good book that you can find. For example, I remember reading Naked Forex. It's a very good book without to learn about trading. So you can start with that, and maybe you can leave this psychology part after that. But even if you do it at the beginning, it doesn't matter. You know, as long as you are learning, as long as you are improving every day, that's a good start.
Okay. So with this being said, Sen, do you want to share some of your social media accounts that you have? I know you have Instagram that you post pretty much daily, right? Your forex
Yeah.
analysis. Feel free to share with us. I think you do have your Telegram group. Right now is your space to speak a little bit about your work, whether you have a course, whether you have a mentorship. Just feel free to share with us how people can reach you if they like this interview.
Yeah, well, I have Instagram. That's basically the main source of the knowledge, I guess. It's called ForexDoc and .htc. Well, you can just type ForexDoc. You will find me there. I also use a Telegram channel. I also have a Telegram channel, and also I share daily charts. So in my Telegram, I share charts, and in my Instagram, I share more like educational posts. They're also from the charts, but they're more for the education. And in my Telegram group, it's more like live analyzing. So I analyze charts and mark some zones. So people, just like I did here today, so people can see them and act accordingly. Also, I have a YouTube channel, ForexDoc, where I explain the analysis, where I explain my analysis and the knowledge that I have. And these are the three main social media accounts that I use. So you can
Okay.
find me there on the Instagram, and you can then just find my link in the bio for if you want to join my Telegram channel, and if you want to check YouTube, just type ForexDoc. That should be it.
So anyone who like this content from Sen, you can check out his content on Instagram, Telegram, like he just said, and feel free to read him out. He's a great trader. He's a great mentor that is a partner of us here at Logica in BlackArrow. So it's a nice partner. So Sen, thank you very much for this conversation. I think it's been almost an hour here, but
Yeah,
you wanna share something at the least for a tip for everyone, like just like a advice.
advice for the traders.
Yeah.
Well, first thing that I think you should have is a passion for this, because it can be a lonely job, and you really need to want to like this. I mean, it's to love this. It's stupid, but it's true. And for example, one technical tip that I can give you is that you should align your time frames with your stop loss pips. So for example, if you are risking 15 pips or 10 pips and you are analyzing daily chart, it's not really a good idea, right? Because the price always moves, you know, like this. You will see wicks in candlesticks, and it's very hard to form a perfect entry, and so you enter and price, for example, you sell and price goes down. That is not really what is happening. Most of the time price will go up, form a pullback, and then possibly go down. But align your time frames with your risk. I think that's also very important, because like I said, in this example, risking a 10 pips and analyzing daily or weekly chart, it doesn't really make too much sense, So that can be also one very important tip, especially for the beginners.
Okay, thanks so much, Sam, again for this content, for sharing your
Thank you.
knowledge. I hope you like our conversation as well. Hope to
Sure.
see you next here on Analogica channel, hopefully very soon. And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for everyone who's watching until the end, and see you guys on next video here at BlackArrow. See you
Thank
guys.
you very much for this opportunity, and see you next time.